Let's see where. I am just sending out invites. Hello, Alex. How are you tonight? Really don't like that I can't see the chat when I am doing the invites because I can't see everybody who's coming in. There you are. Already. Rizzy is here.
Hey!
How are you? I'm working on it, Rizzy, I promise. I don't know why it's not letting me.
I like the way I want it.
Let's see. I'm trying to. Why won't it let me invite you?
Let me in!
Right? There she is. Okay. Inviting her and then inviting up Mooney. I don't know if he's in yet. Ms. Rizzy. I'm so excited.
Hi, guys. It's been too long, dude. It's been like 2 weeks.
I know. I feel really weird not having done this for a couple of weeks where I'm like, I just feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah, no, my Wednesdays where I come home from work, hang out with my kids, and my husband's like, are you going to go do your, and I go, no, we're not doing it today. Like my Wednesday felt empty.
What's going on? Charlotte. I know, it feels like you lost a limb or something. It doesn't feel right.
Mooney! Hi, Mooney!
I'm so excited for this interview.
Hi, Evie.
Like, I binged your entire series, Samantha. Like, I binged it, okay? And I am obsessed.
Really?
I'm gonna fully admit. I am obsessed. It's fun, and it's funny, and it's... So for everybody who's coming in, this is the amazing S.A. Burd. She wrote the Scavenger series, like... And then you have something coming out tomorrow.
I do have something coming out tomorrow.
Something very exciting.
Right? Do you want to tell everybody? There it is.
I'm so ready.
I came prepped. So, I got the books.
She says, I am ready for this interview.
Sir, they are not talking to you.
Her books were so much fun. Like, if I could tell you the amount of times Mooney and I have gone around the house together and been like, it's not time for that little one.
That's Evie's favorite phrase. Evie
it has become our
without thinking about it's not time for that.
It has become our go-to phrase in the house. Like, it's not time for that little one.
It's not time for that.
I've been trying to get her to cut my nails for me, though.
And now.
I hate that phrase. She hates it so much.
No, it was amazing.
Everybody. Can you tell them hi? I'm out of french fries.
Hello. Oh, I just
the puppers.
I'm just having.
You love the puppy.
Okay.
Man. So, for everybody who hasn't read the stories, like, why don't we start with the Scavenger series and tell everybody what that's about?
Okay. So, the Scavenger series, I guess, like, I'm always so bad at, like, talking about my own without, like, just giving away, like, all the spoilers and things, right? So the three-ring scavenger, it starts off, we find a widowed woman in her 30s, because I basically got tired of all these teenagers having all the fun.
Fair.
Right? We don't need another 18-year-old doing all the things. Who gets propositioned by a vampire and a demon and brought to a god, who then turned her into what I've recently had described as his own personal cleanup crew.
True. That's a
And
good
then she has to decide, do I stick with this god who created me, or do I save all of humanity? And then she's faced with that tough decision a couple times.
And that's because, like, okay, look, if you guys are looking for spice, this series has it in Aces. It has it throughout the entire series, but the really cool thing is, like, there's plot. And I am for a story that has spice and plot, because I feel like and that's really, like, I'm learning that that's really hard to do. Is, like, to have those, because, like, you have a lot of spice. Like, this is pepperin'.
Oh, right. This.
Oh, I think we froze.
Oh, we're lagging.
One, yeah.
I'm wondering.
It's not me.
There you are, man.
Yeah.
Everything looks good on my side.
You're good.
You're good now.
You're back.
Technical difficulties. We love it.
Let me turning on my mobile data just in case.
Sometimes we have to do that. Yep.
Okay. We're good.
Anyways, where did we miss off?
We were talking about plot and spice.
The balancing act.
Oh yeah. And like you're trying to have the plot and the spice, and I tried to keep it in a shorter novel as well. Like it's a novel by like barely an extra 1,000 or 2 words.
How? Okay, like, look, my books are beasts, okay? They thick girls. They beefy, okay? And, like, I have no idea how the heck you managed to have plot, spice, and it is a very, very beautifully quick read. It's fantastic.
Not the thickness that...
Right! Like, I have no idea how you manage to, like, have the plot, have the spice, and it's like, I bow down.
Would you feel better if she made it shorter? Then that way it could be thicker?
Yeah, like make it smaller.
Right. So when I was deciding how I wanted to publish it, I literally sat there and I had a couple like author proofs of shorter books and bigger books to see how they felt in my hand, because I could have done a shorter trim size and had a thicker book. I just like the way this. I like the 9-inch.
Yeah, your title would be smush, but it looks great. All like the length of it, and you show everything, and your words are all nice and big. Like
yep. No, it's comfortable in your hand, and I think anybody who loves books knows what I'm saying when it's like it's comfortable in your hands. When it's that size. If it was shorter, I think that it would be a different experience.
No, I mean this is comfortable in my hand, and it's shorter.
Well, but ebooks are a little bit different, right? Like I feel like ebooks are different because like the way you interact with an ebook is different. Just
pretty.
Exactly.
It is so pretty.
Like your covers.
I've had a couple readers that have the ebook that shows the cover in color, and it's so pretty on the colored ebooks. Oh my goodness!
Mine's super white. I wish I had the
There's
color.
so many dark aspects that a lot of the detailing in this gets lost on the print version. Like you can barely make out that it actually has a tent and a circus and everything in the background, but on the digital print, it's like wow.
Right, you get to see all of the detail and then some. Did you I have words. They usually work. They're not working right now. Did you contract somebody to do them, or did you where did that concept of that cover come from?
So originally, I should have grabbed it's upstairs somewhere. My first cover was actually me in cosplay just from here up, just with the Maud's missing eye and the horns, and like it was me. I did it in Photoshop. Was cover number 1,
right?
And then when I finally sold enough books to afford to pay a cover artist, I sent her my original one. She goes, "Oh, let's try this instead."
I love that.
There's
I love
definitely
that.
a difference between a free cover and an expensive cover.
Right. But that's upgrading, and that's, I think, a lot of times as an indie author, like, we don't necessarily know that going in. Is like, we start at base, and then as we start, kind of building that following and stuff, like, then we can upgrade. And I think that's, because sometimes we want the whole thing. Like, we just want to, like, throw it all at the, like, and see what sticks. So I think
Right.
that's a really intelligent strategy. Now, I did notice one of the other things about your strategy is you tend to release books on the 13th. Is there
Yes.
a specific reason behind that? I'm curious.
13 was my dad's lucky number. He was baby number 13. He passed away while I was still in the first draft of my first book. So he knew I was writing, and my dad, I was daddy's girl, so it's just one of those things. Like, no, I'm gonna always release it on the 13th. Like I even have for this cover for the D20, I choose to let number 13 show.
That's so sweet.
13 is always his
though.
lucky.
I love that.
No, and that's because, like, I was looking at, because, like, I always, on my notes, like, I always write down, like, the release dates and stuff like that, and I'm, like, looking at it, and I'm, like, she's released every single one so far on the 13th, and then tomorrow, that's when Disadvantaged comes out, and that's on the 13th, and I was, like, I was so curious about that. But then, also, you have a lot of personal touches in your books. Like, let's talk
Yes.
the chocolate gravy. Like...
I love chocolate gravy. So it's even printed off in the back of the book too. That way, anybody that doesn't get like the little magnet, they can always get the.
Right.
So chocolate gravy is something that my dad's mom, my Granny Heiss, always made for us, and it was just something always sweet and always special. And then my mom was never good at it until my brother had his first child. She had to become a grandma to get good at it. Like, that was the secret ingredient.
I guess.
But then his granny was just kind of measuring this, that, and the other, and mom finally wrote it down. So then I'm like, oh, we're putting Linda's chocolate gravy in here because it's just one of those special, like, oh, it's a snow day, we're gonna have chocolate gravy for breakfast instead of whatever. And
now, what do you recommend readers put the chocolate gravy on? Because that was the one thing I was curious. I was like, what do you put chocolate gravy on?
hot biscuits, just like gravy.
Ah, that makes sense. That
Okay.
makes sense.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm gonna have to try it.
So
We're gonna have to try this.
Yeah,
We're going to have to try it.
go on live and show everybody how it tastes.
Try the chocolate
Oh
gravy.
my goodness, if you want to do that, I'm going to be visiting my mom next week. We can go on live and I could get Linda on here to help you girls make it.
Yes.
I would love that.
Yes.
That would be
We
so
need
much
to make
fun.
that happen. We need to make that happen. I think that would be amazing. I think that'd be
Agreed.
so cute. All right, we're gonna have to
We're
do
going
that.
to get Linda in on this. Also, my mom's name is Tony. It's not Linda, just in case anyone's curious.
That's my niece's name. That's so cute. I love it. And my
Aw.
son's name. My son's name is Tony.
My mom is
you like
Antonia.
you like putting a lot of the personal touches in your books.
Yes.
Like, is that just kind of is that like that motivation? Like those little Easter eggs that kind of just
Yeah, so with the Scavenger series, there was a lot of my favorite New Orleans Easter eggs throughout all three books. Like, you can go back through New Orleans history. That's actually what I'm tabbing these for, is I'm going to do a Did You Catch the Easter Eggs page. That way I can go through and kind of make a cheat sheet for people.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I
You're
have to
hearing
buy
this,
these.
Izzy? Like,
Yeah, I have to
So
buy
what
these
I'm
now.
gonna do, I'm actually working on trying to get an omnibus done for all of them with special binding, special cover, but in the back have a Did You Catch the Easter Eggs and have
I love that. That is
that way you
Right?
can go back and reference this page. Oh, this is what this was talking about, this, that, and the other. But Disadvantage had a lot more personal
Right.
touches.
And I think that, like, I find it really, really as a reader, I love when authors like put those personal touches in their stories because I feel like it kind of creates that connection, right? Like as a reader, I feel like I know you better when you're putting like these little personal touches in it, and it just it embodies your personality. But like everything you do embodies your personality, like your videos, and like you put it in your books. Like, which of the books was your favorite to write?
So far, Disadvantage. I had
Really?
I had so much fun writing it. So you've read Disadvantage. Has every no,
We
no,
have not
no.
read it yet.
Oh,
I
you guys
am
haven't read
waiting.
Disadvantage.
bated
Oh my
breath.
Tomorrow. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You better
New Orleans
believe.
story of Katie. Yes. So, it starts off like when Cole, the male main character, works for a dental tech company, and he goes to the one dental office and meets Kat, the office manager. That's what I did before I became a stay-at-home mom. Is I managed dental offices.
Okay.
Okay.
And let me tell you about the tech guys that used to come in. I love me a smart man. Ooh, I love a smart man. My husband's an engineer. We like smart men.
This says, I need them smart.
Yeah, we like them smart.
Mm-hmm.
But when they go in, at first they meet. She's trying to help a patient with insurance issues, which is what I did. But her name is Mrs. Heiss, is how she addresses her, which is my maiden name. So my mom is in here.
Yeah.
And he makes comments
I
like,
love
"Oh,
that.
I watch as this lady is doing her check registry because my mom keeps that check registry like nobody. There's no online checking in my mom's world. It's a registry. We're doing this."
Right. Right.
Bounce the
So
book.
touches like that, I love.
No, and I think that like because it definitely you can tell that you put those, and I feel like it's those personal touches that as a reader like keep you engaged. You know what I mean? Like because it enriches, it emboldens, and makes it more realistic.
Mhm.
It pulls you in.
Yes. Like, okay, so then, but also, how much, because I believe you're the one who asked me about writer's block. Like,
Yes.
how do you clear your writer's block? Like, what do you do?
You're gonna think I'm even weirder than you already do. So when I get writer's block and I know kind of what I want like the end product to be, but I'm just working on that meat part, I actually go take a fake nap is what I call it. I go to my bedroom, I put on my weighted blanket and my sleeping mask, and I turn my fan on really high, and my ADHD lets me see pictures in my head, and I literally like play out a movie, and if I don't like that, like I rewind and do it again, and I'll lay there for a couple
I
hours and just play the
love
movie
that.
over and over
That's
until I
brilliant.
get the final
So
result.
it's almost like a Doctor Strange thing.
Kind of, yes. Yes, but not nearly
I
as
don't
bad.
like this ending. Rewind.
Yeah,
Right?
it does. It rewinds. Sometimes I get so mad, I shake my head like this, and then my internal dialogue goes, etch a sketch.
That is fantastic.
So mine is the forehead hit. Like, I'll just sit here like this, like I'm going to knock it loose. You know, and I'm just like praying. I'm like, come on. It's
Why,
do what I want you
Danielle,
to
why is
do.
your forehead red? Oh, I'm writing.
I was writing. It was a difficult chapter. How long did it take you? Because, like, obviously you say that you were working in dental offices. But, like, how long did it take you to write book one?
Book one was probably my longest book, like from start to finish, like month-wise, just because when my dad passed away, I had a very long break that I took. So that one, it probably still took me less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
When I put that one out. My dad ended up passing away the end of August, and then this came out the following February. So
That had to be because, like, is writing for you kind of like this cathartic healing thing? Because, like, I write because it makes me feel better.
right. So Rizzy hasn't. Have you read it, or you started it, or have you read it?
I'm in the middle of it.
So I don't want to give. So the ending.
You're okay. It's gonna.
You
I'm
don't
gonna
mind?
read it. So you. I don't mind. Go ahead.
Are you sure? So, because you know how it ended, right?
Yeah. No.
So,
I'm already planning on reading this whole series. So.
Right. It wasn't supposed to end that way originally. I was so mad at the world that it was supposed to be a happily ever after. I was so mad at the world when my dad died that I decided that Muse had to die. I was like, no.
Well, and
Nope.
that's because like
See, I
that
told ya.
one was
That's okay.
unexpected. Okay, like
I was like, nope.
I'm sitting here
at the world.
thinking, right? Like I'm sitting here thinking that this is going to be like, like okay, he's gaining a conscience, like we're good, and then all of a sudden, bam, and you're like, what just happened? And I'm just sitting here, I was like, I'm heartbroken.
I've arc read for this one for the last year, so I can handle any kind of aggression. You will probably get DMs from me being like, "What?" I knew
I'm okay
this was
with
happening,
that.
and I still wasn't prepared for this.
You will DM her. You will DM her.
I'm
Let
bad.
me tell you
I'm
what
so
you
bad.
think mine. You think mine, like I was not prepared. Like I got to the end of one and I was like, excuse me, man? I was like, what did you just do? Okay. So then I'm like, okay, now I'm invested. I'm invested. Yes, I now know how you feel. I'm just so then I get to the end of book 2 and I was like, ma'am. Look, book 2's ending, you put me to shame. You put me to shame because, like, when that happened, I was like, I did not see it coming. I did not see that coming. I was unprepared. I was unprepared because, like, look, I was getting I was getting ready for some stuff, but that was not what I expected. Not what I expected.
That's good. The best
Did
times
you
are.
always know that you wanted to self-publish?
No, so when I sat down to write the first one, in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm going to reach out to, see if I could go the trad way, this, that, and the other. And then all I kept hearing is, you're going to get 200 no's and just, it takes that one yes, and da-da-da. And I had to sit down and have a real talk with myself, just the way my mental stability is. I don't need that many rejections. It's not good for my mental health. Like, why? When I could just tell myself yes, why the hell am I waiting for somebody else?
I love that.
I concur. Like, what has been the hardest but the most rewarding thing about self-publishing?
Oh, the hardest part is marketing.
Yes.
I feel
Everybody
like
says that.
if I could get my book in someone else's hand, they love it. I've not really had anybody tell me, like everyone likes it once they read it. It's just trying to get people to read it. I guess the hardest part again is like trying to explain what it is without overdoing it and ruining it for everybody.
And that's really hard because a lot of times the best parts of the book are in the stuff that would be considered spoilers, and you're like, oh, I wish I could tell you, but I can't.
You're like, there were
Right.
these people that went to this place and they did a thing, and then
And they did
another
a
thing
thing.
happened, and then this
Oh
big
my
thing
goodness.
happened.
What? I forgot. Oh, I'm going to ruin her TikTok name, but she goes, she got a fang in his thing. Yes.
And that's the thing is like because even like the way you're marketing, for example, is it's catching on. And people are like, oh, I really like this. Like this, they're interacting with it. But it's one of those things like, yes, interact with my stuff, but buy my book.
Buy my book, right? Like when I was busy doing all my yard work, those videos popped
Yes.
off like nobody's business.
Oh my God. They were hilarious. Like I'm just flipping through it all. You caught me with my hand in my hole. And I was like, oh.
Sorry, you caught me trimming my bush.
Right. And like you just I absolutely adore your marketing. And like when you and Evie get together, you guys are hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
What event did you guys go to together that you made the videos?
So we went as readers to
Yeah.
an event in Tulsa. I forgot what it was called, but Tulsa's halfway between both of us, so we got a hotel and shacked up together for a couple nights.
You guys were hilarious. You were hilarious. Like, there was, because when I was doing the promo videos, like I went through your stuff and like I'm seeing the one where Evie's laying on the floor because you have her cane. I was like,
because I took her cane. There was one where I was running past her and I didn't mean to kick her leg, but I kicked her sore leg.
Oh no. See, those are the best ones though. It's like an accident, but it totally works out.
right. Because you can't plan it and it just ends up working so perfectly. Hey. No, it like your marketing, it inspires me. I'm going to be very honest. Like it's just there's like this lightheartedness about it.
Right.
If you could give new authors any advice, what would it be?
Talk about your book a lot sooner than what you think you need to.
Chitty chitty chat
Yes. Yes. I think we keep freezing up.
Yeah,
But
there
that's
was a
the
little
thing
pause
is like a lot of times people write the book and they just want to throw it out there. And like then they can't understand why people are like, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want to invest in this, but they don't know what the book is about.
Right. Yeah, that's probably definitely
Let's see.
the big one is
And
talk
then-
about it as soon as you decide to start sitting down
Go
and
ahead.
writing. Get the hype going.
Absolutely. Did I detect a bit of a crossover when it comes to Disadvantaged?
You did. Like, which crossover are you talking about? There is a cross.
So, okay, your cover has the alligators on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the Scavenger series, there is the shifters. Is this a crossover between?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. And I was like, because I was reading, and I was like, ma'am, do we have, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. Okay.
And
That
I
was
have
the
not
totality
made it
of
a
the
secret,
cover.
but there
I know.
is cameos from Maud and Muse in Disadvantage as well. They come. I'm not
Yes.
done with Maud.
Okay.
I'm not done with Maud.
Okay.
She's forever my favorite. So.
I would be. Oh, undoubtedly, she's amazing. It is. You are up now, Mooney.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yep.
Oh,
He's all falling asleep.
So how long have you known Evie?
Right.
I met Evie probably about the time I published my first book, and I decided I needed to get on Book Talk. I was like, oh, her book looked interesting, so I went and bought it off the Zon, and I was like, oh, girl, we gotta be friends. And she was like, bet, and bought my book. She's like, oh my goodness.
So
Book
I
buddies.
already asked Evie this question on her DMs. In book 3, Owen and Maud are sharing the coffin. Is that the same blanket that Bravos uses?
The contingency duvet.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I never wrote it that way, but if that makes you feel better. No, I just thought he needed to have a little blanket to be a little snuggly.
Well, no, just knowing that you two are friends and then reading Evie's books and reading your books and then just kind of picking up, because you guys have such
Evie and I are actually planning a full cameo of Maud and Muse in her 4th book that she's writing. And in Disadvantage, it talks about at the end one of her characters. They said, no, I got to get back to Vegas because I'm getting L's calling me. So we
What?
I'm.
are
And
full
that's-
on planned crossovers.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask, is if you guys were planning on doing like a novella where there was like a crossover between everybody gets together.
That's exciting.
So it's not going to be a full novella. It's just going to be just
You gotta.
mentions.
You gotta.
Now, the edges of all your books,
Yes.
how do you design those, or who designs those, or
Not. Her business is called Printed Wings Publishing, and she does all the editing, formatting, like those kind of services, and then she designs them so when you get them printed on the edge, it bleeds over. So when you
Yeah.
get a
so
That's
That's
freezy?
smart.
Yeah, we lost you for a second.
Yeah, because I noticed that it's
I know. I am half tempted to turn off my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there's the first one has a little fleur de lis. Let's see, for book 2 we got the St. Louis Cathedral, and then book 3 is some Mardi Gras mass.
Very pretty.
So pretty.
So are we going to see more of the werebears?
Yeah, so before I wrote Disadvantaged, that's actually the book I had wanted to write next was Peter and Elle story.
Yeah, because I felt like
But-
that whole story was incomplete. You know, you had, all right, we need to get the kids out of here, and
That
then
one
it
would
was
be
just
really
like,
fun.
what's going on with all the baby werebears?
I know. I'm hoping they got back to Appalachia. That story, I have notes started for it, but then this story came to mind, and I just had to follow the manic episode.
It left her.
You got to just hop on whatever train's going.
So what made you think of the were
Right.
crocodiles?
Oh, the alligator shifters.
Yeah.
So I love a good shifter romance. And a shifter versus like a werebear or a werewolf has control over how they shift. And I don't know, every time, because I've been to New Orleans multiple times, it's my favorite city, and every time I go, I love looking at the alligators down there. I'm like, man, though, maybe one day I'll get lucky and one really is a shifter. I don't know.
I love it. It's always
So
a hope.
who was your favorite character to write?
Well, Maud is forever my favorite character. Forever. And then it was probably a tie after Maud between Muse and Owen.
I feel bad for Owen. I think he got a bad rap.
I love Owen.
Everyone.
I do. I was mad at him but I love him. I do.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I tell everybody. Like, when you get to book 3, just make sure you maintain your composure.
Yeah.
Good to know.
The ending and finding out all the strings that were pulled was definitely a well then. And it's like maybe somebody should have been a little bit more forthcoming with Maud.
Oh yeah,
Then
Owen and
what did it
Blanc
turn
are
out the way
in here
you
too.
did?
Agreed. And you and I discussed that is obviously, was he really a bad person because he was making sure that the end result was achieved? But it
Because
was
to be fair, that's exactly what he told her in book 1 is she needed to do this to make sure everything was as it needs to be.
yeah. And in the end, it worked out. Minus the fingernail clipping thing that could have been left out.
All the
You
things,
haven't
that's
gotten
the
there
one
yet,
that bothers
Bill.
you.
I have certain isms, and fingernails are one of them. The just thinking of somebody else biting your fingernails for you. Ugh. Ugh.
He's like,
What? What?
Read the book.
I haven't gotten that part yet.
Read faster.
Shut up, Moody. Anyway,
right?
It's either bite it off or have it go somewhere you don't want it. Those were her
at
options.
At first, when I was reading it, I interpreted it as she bit the whole tip of the finger off, and I was like,
Oh.
okay. And then when I finally realized it was the fingernail, I was like, ugh, ugh.
So you're okay with losing a knuckle, but just the nail is where you got.
That's what I was gonna say. The fingertip, the whole tip is fine.
Well,
the
he was
nail,
a demon.
on
He
the
was
other
a-
hand.
he was a demon. It would have healed, you know.
True.
I like how the rules you have in your brain for how this works. It's like he's a demon, so it'll heal. It's fine.
Fine.
In my opinion,
But
that's
his
more
fingernails are gross.
It's more sanitary than just.
How is it more sanitary? He's got a mouthful of blood. How is that more sanitary?
Right.
What gets stuck under fingernails? And he's a demon.
Yeah, but
Right,
you're
but
still
the
gonna
whole
have that in your mouth either way.
Exactly. Like,
And then there's blood and
You need
flesh.
to
Either way, Maud didn't want it.
You need to figure out where that finger's going after she trims the nail. And then we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason why the nail needs to be trimmed.
I give up. Your mind, I swear.
we have gone off the rails.
Anyway,
It's fine.
note to self:
Like, oh my God.
fingertip
My
loss is
cheeks are-
okay. Nail chewing is not. Got it.
Then
Noted.
the smell of sulfur.
Yes.
What gave you that idea? I mean, obviously, yeah,
That
demons
was creative,
have
for
that
sure.
have that smell associated with them. But for it to be
Reading the comment. He's going
I'm sorry. One moment, please. Katie's killing me. Katie, we're not talking about that right now.
So the smell
Moving on.
of sulfur was actually just one of those spare the moment things in book 1, where they're all in the poker tent and Malam's trying to get her to use her senses more, and then she's picking out. I'm like, okay, so the werewolf smells like a wet dog. That makes perfect sense to me. Owen smells like blood, like that's just kind of a thing. And then I was like, well, what would a demon smell like? Well, he would smell like he came from the bowels of hell and sulfur.
Fair.
Ember, musk.
And then just musk. We love sulfur musk. And then so in book 3, when she goes to when you gotta wash your demon, and she uses sulfur rinse, her hair wash was an actual hair wash that they used in the 1940s to help relax curls.
Oh.
I did not know this. I learned something new today.
my question
I
would
put a
be,
lot of random thought into like some of these small details.
I love that though.
so if we jump back to book 2 and the circus time,
Jump back.
does that mean that the werebear smelled sulfur when Maud got excited?
Maybe. I don't think I ever even addressed it, because normally, I think I only ever thought of it from Muse's point of view, and Muse just knows that she's aroused. Like, Muse just smelt her for her womanness.
Right, but and I forget the demon's name in book 2, but he also notices her sulfur smell when she was
Her womanness.
yes, her musk.
Yeah. Oh, when they're in the Peter the werewolf, when he smells her, because
Yeah.
they're in their little voyeurism.
Smelling everybody.
They're smelling everybody.
They're
They with
womanly
werewolves.
musk.
Musk.
So, what were some of your biggest influences while you were writing?
Wow. I smoked a lot of devil's lettuce. That was a big one.
I got high. That was
You made my whole night.
I got high.
I wouldn't have
You
guessed.
made my whole night with that. Okay.
So
Fair.
I definitely like the vibe of having like The Greatest Showman and The Labyrinth and Phantom of the Opera like getting together and having one big baby.
I picked
Like
that up, yeah.
And for Muse, because I knew I kind of liked the whole circus vibe, but when I went to put Muse together, my friend, his name on here is Coddlesworth. He writes a D&D comic book, and his male main character is called the Governor, and he is in a blue suit with a red mask and like this whole circus vibe to him. This is Coddlesworth's Clockwork Circus. I was like, no, this is the vibe I need for my male main character. And I love it. So I actually
around a little bit.
just changed the colors around, but I reached out to Mr. Oliver and I said, hey, this is what I was thinking. And he said, nope, absolutely, that sounds great. I'm glad I could inspire you. I was like, perfect. Because Muse and the Governor are not the same person at all.
No.
So
Good to know.
this will be my last question, and then we'll pass it off to Rizzy. What is the most fun part about writing your book, or what part of the books do you enjoy writing the best, most?
Some of the inside jokes, I think, are my favorite. All of them have a little bit of something sprinkled here and there. Like the third book, there are a solid 3 classic rock songs that are referenced in there. And I don't know.
I'm gonna be taking notes
those.
after this.
Right.
Where's
I
my
feel
pen?
like we need to do a quiz at the end because I'm telling you, like, I missed that part, but now I'm going to go back and reread it just because I want to know.
I can tell you what they are if you really want to know.
Don't tell her no.
Right. See,
I want to figure it out.
experience. It's the experience. You
I
know,
wanna know.
Go into it knowing exactly.
Well,
So now I can look for it.
you're going
Exactly.
to Sinful this year, right?
I am going to Sinful.
See, and then we'll just back her into a corner and get all the.
Mooney and
Don't
DM are
me
like,
at the good
what are
time."
the songs? Tell me.
No, you don't put your finger in front of her mouth because
She'll bite. No, she'll just bite the nail off. So I'll be okay
Just
with
the
that.
nail.
Just the nail.
It's not time
Watch
for
Mooney's
that
all
little one.
ew.
It's not time.
Mooney's all cringe.
other than Sinful, are there any other events you're attending yet this year?
Next Saturday, I'm going to my local bookstore here in Kansas City. It's called Under the Covers. It's just a romance bookstore. That's all her store sells is romance novels. So she puts my books on her shelves. So I'm going
Very
there. Kansas City, we have a boozy book fair. So it's like Scholastic's book fair, but with alcohol. And I'm signing there.
Nice.
Our
That's like
library
every
puts
book
on-
there's dream.
Jealous. Right.
Our library puts on a free romance genre con. So, and Sierra Simone always goes to that one. She's local here to Kansas City. So, I was so excited. I got to meet her. I had a table next to her last year at the library. I was like,
Oh, nice.
I want to go too.
And then-
we need to make a trip
Your
on it.
eyes last. Stop me looking at me like that.
Sorry.
Like, no, we need to make a trip out of that because, like, it sounds like your town and your bookstores are amazing.
they really are. Yeah. And then Sinful. And then in February, I'm doing Flirty in KC.
Ooh,
That one I think so far has over 100 attending authors.
oh my gosh, that's
It's
amazing.
a big one. Because, so the Readers Take Denver thing, all of that happened. Readers Take Denver was supposed to be the same weekend as Flirty in KC. Well, that canceled, and all these authors are coming over to Flirty in KC.
That makes sense. Because yeah, are they even going to have Readers Take Denver next year? That's what I thought.
Maybe we should schedule something in Denver.
There you go.
You can get Rocky Mountain High.
Right.
Poor Rizzy.
I live in California, but that's a good one. I like that one. She's like, we can do something in Denver. She goes, we can get Rocky Mountain High.
I lived in
The
Colorado
Rocky
Springs for
Mountains.
4 years. I love Colorado.
Do I have to explain the joke to you now?
Is that a song?
No.
Who's getting hot?
My husband, everybody. Thank you.
No, I'm just being rude.
The
to
song is
fucking
by
you.
Joel Walsh. My
It's a
friend.
song by Joel Walsh.
I thought it was John Denver.
No, Rocky Mountain.
It's like almost
Maybe
like
No,
it's
Rocky
Denver.
Mountain
I don't-
Way is what I'm thinking. Rocky Mountain Way.
It's a
It's
song.
Joel
yeah.
Walsh.
70s song, right?
Is it 70s?
Rocky Mountain Way, I couldn't get much higher is what I was thinking of. I'm thinking Joel Walsh, but I said the wrong name.
Anyway,
Anyway.
All right,
beware, my dears. My husband is in the room, so you may hear comments in the background. These two are used to it. You'll hear him. Okay,
I'm ready.
So-
Yeah, anything else
my
I
turn.
need. You got a turn.
First of all, how does it feel to have written 4 books? Like, how does that
Fucking
feel?
It's crazy. It's crazy, especially
Yeah.
considering I'm almost done with a 5th project.
And you're already working on more. You're like, I've already got my sets for the next one. I love it. Who was your biggest cheerleader while writing all of these books? Like, from the first one to the one that comes out tomorrow. Like, who do you feel in your world was your biggest, like, go, go?
Linda.
Linda?
My mom.
Oh, we love Linda.
So
I
all my
love-
books are dedicated to Linda.
When I saw that on the
Totally.
dedication page, I was like, all I think of is that little boy going, Linda, 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 listen,
Okay, so
Linda,
when that
Linda.
video went viral, that's what I started telling her. I was an adult and we were in Walmart and she wasn't listening to me. I'm 5'6", she's 5'1". And I was telling Linda, you don't listen, because she wouldn't listen to me. I'm looking down at her and it just stuck for years and years later. Like, everyone calls her Linda. I'm like, sorry, we're gonna have to tell the FBI that's your
Oh,
your alias mom.
right. So
I
my
love
new
it.
one says, for my mom, listen, Linda, this isn't grandma's dice game.
I love that.
Because we used to
That's
play
fantastic.
bunco with my grandma all the time.
Aw, that's cute. I love that. Do you have we know who your favorite main character is? It's Maud. That's all you do. But is there a side character in the series that doesn't that's not on the spotlight like Muse and who kind of holds a special place in your heart?
So the more and more I write this character, Duma, which you'll meet in book 2, Duma very much is, he's going to be my 5th novel.
Oh
So he's
yay!
getting his own. Like, I've fallen in love with that side character so much, he's getting his own book.
See, we love that. Which scene did you get the most oh my gosh from your readers? Like, because everybody knows that as authors, indie authors, you guys get DMs from us all the time. Is there one scene where you had the most oh my god?
Yeah, funny enough, it was the end of the 3rd one. People weren't ready for that. I got a lot from that one. And then the people, because Evie will call me to fuss at me. But the end of Disadvantaged, there's a twist that happened, and she and I talk about our twist, and she knew XYZ was going to happen. She just didn't know how I was getting to XYZ, and she called and yelled at me for a solid hour.
Oh, nice. So Evie, I love it. We love Evie. Evie's the best.
I think it ended the way it needed to, though.
Oh, the 3rd book, yeah.
Yeah.
But no disadvantage. She knew what was coming, and she still called you.
Disadvantage. So she knew what was coming through all well, not the first one because I didn't know her, but the 2nd, 3rd, and then 4th book. Yeah, Evie's known what the end result was going to be. She just never knew how I was going to do it.
Okay. So she read the back of the book but didn't, and then when she read the beginning, she was like, okay, that makes... All right. So, were you nervous or worried about anybody you knew reading your spicy scenes? And was there one in particular where you're like, oh my god, they're going to think I'm a freak?
Yes.
Which one? Now I want to know, so I'm prepared for it.
My 3rd book, there is a male, female scene.
The Owen sandwich.
The Owen sandwich. And I thought my mother was going to lose her ish. I was like, oh God. And now I'm concerned because she's given these books to her best friends. Like, well, this is on
You're
you,
like,
Mom.
"Mother."
You've read them. You know what they are. Right. My mom's awesome. I love Linda.
We love when moms share books. That's like one of my favorite things to hear was when the authors mothers. And I mean, it's one thing if like your dad reads it, you're like, okay, no, we're not gonna do that. But when moms are the supportive ones, and they're like, here, give it to everybody. I'm gonna give it to my, the pastor's wife, and you're like, no,
Right.
Oh, I made shirts just for my mom to have the cover art on the shirts. And my mom will wear it underneath her sweater to go to church, and then she'll tell me, I want a shirt to church. Like, Mom.
so risque, mommy. I love it. So, was there a book that you've read in your past that helped influence the one? Because I know there's vampires and there's demons and stuff like that, but was there one that you felt from your past that kind of helped you influence into becoming the writer that you are today?
Yes. My favorite series is by Cressley Cole, the Immortals After Dark series. There's currently like 21 books in this series. They all take place in New Orleans. We got all the lore creatures, all the fun things.
Love it.
But I started reading that as an adult, and I highly recommend those books. Oh, they're so good. The audiobooks are amazing. Yes, the audiobooks are perfect. I like to listen to audiobooks while I crochet. So those are definitely...
My husband does that. He loves a crochet.
Those are good. Robert Petkoff narrates most of them, and he does an amazing job.
Okay, I'll have to add that to my list, definitely. I have yet to find an audiobook that I actually like, so I will give it a shot for you just to be safe. Just to try, because I'm weird. Like, the voices that are in my head when it comes to the characters, I prefer their voices versus, because I'm the one that can hear individual voices versus, like, if I read a book and then I have the author or the
Right.
voice actor, I'm like...
So for Cressley Cole, hers are all standalones in the same series. I think the first two, there's a female author. And the third book is where she got Robert Petkoff to pick it up. His voice acting is phenomenal.
Okay.
That's where, yeah. I'll double check to see
I
where
will
he
remember
picks it up, and I can let you know.
I'll
It
read
does
the
make a
first
big
two and
difference,
then
though.
just listen to the ones after that.
Yeah.
So I know some authors have music that they attribute to their stories. Are there any songs that you would say stand out the most for yours?
Oh my goodness, I have playlists for all of them.
Yeah, see, that works too. But like, is there one song that you felt was like, okay, I heard this song and it makes you think of like Maud in this moment, or it made you think of Muse in this moment, or it made you think of the Owen sandwich, that kind of things.
I'm trying to think. There's probably one for every book. Every book I have has a CCR song attached to it because those are my New Orleans
Of course.
vibes. Right. Man. So the Three Ring Scavenger, there's I can't remember the artist name now because I'm going to blank out. It's called Johnny's Revenge. It's a heavy metal song about going to the circus, and this guy's like, oh, here's Johnny. Let's show Johnny a thing or two about what it's like to die. And
Oh my goodness!
yeah, I can't remember who sings that. Cheers to Goodbye, Scavenger on the Run. That's Cheers to Goodbye. And what was the other one? Oh, Forsaken by Seether for Scavenger on the Run. That's another good
Excellent song.
one. Love Seether.
Absolutely.
Such a great song. Okay, I absolutely love your videos. They're fun and relatable, and they're hilarious. Like Danielle said, I love watching the videos you guys do. Not only you and Evie together, but just like the ones that you do by yourself. Do you find it easy to make those, or do you have to like gear yourself up for it? Because I always feel like when I'm making videos that are like reviews, it's easier because I'm talking about something. But if it's something that you're kind of like being silly to kind of be like, hey, look at my book, you have to kind of like work it through your head.
I kind of go in knowing what I want to say, but I've noticed if I don't overthink it, it ends up better for me.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So just having fun with it. You're like, I'm good. This is going to be great.
Right, because this app, there's no telling what's going to stick. I've had apps where I sat there and here's my beautiful cover art. I'm going to read the whole black back blurb and I'm going to give you all the information that you actually need to want my book, and it'll get 10 views. And then I'll sit out there and trim my bush and get 500 views. I don't know.
I love it. Do you have a favorite scene in your book, or like a moment where you're like, damn, I'm brilliant, that was funny, like one of those like aha moments?
I have a lot of those moments. I tell you, I'm the funniest person I know.
Nobody's smart but me. That's our catchphrase in my house.
Actually, there's one I was laughing so hard, and I had to call Evie, and she just rolled her eyes at me. In the third book, Maud's not doing so well, and she's not eating the way she's supposed to. And Owen's trying to talk her into eating. She goes, "No, everything I try to eat just tastes like ass." And he's like, "No, it doesn't. Well, at least not until you get to that part." I was like,
You're like, I'm so funny.
I thought it was
I
funny.
love it. So I know you said you're a stay-at-home mom, and you. So how have you found time to not only write these amazing books but also be a mom? Did you ever feel like it could never be done? Did you have those moments where you're like, "Oh my God, the balls are too many in the air. I'm gonna drop one." Like, how did you do that?
I don't write unless my children are in bed.
Okay, I hear that a lot.
It's one of those things. It's my husband is a gamer, so at the end of the night when the kids are down and he wants to go relax, he's upstairs playing League of Legends or whatever with his friends, and he's doing his own thing. So I just want to. This is my thing too.
That's what my husband does. He plays his Fallout or whatever, and I read.
Right.
Right. That exactly.
That's the best meshes, gamers and readers. I love it. Well, I am out of questions. That is all of mine. We're good to go.
So that brings us to my favorite part, which is the Mad Libs.
Mad Libs.
So for everybody who's watching, what I do is I took a piece from your book and I turned it into a Mad Lib. So we are going to that's what we're going to do today. So
And we go in a
we're going to
circle.
start with the author and then we're going to go around. So
do
that
a wrap
means,
around.
Exactly. That means we're going to start with a verb that ends in ed.
I gotta make sure I keep this appropriate for TikTok Live. Hold on a
Oh,
second.
wait, hold on. Wait, there's a rule. There's a rule. Mooney, you can only use smelly once.
Oh, I got new ones.
And no buttons this time.
He's like, I got new ones. I got new ones.
Only once. That is the rule.
Okay.
All right, a verb ending in ed.
Correct.
Licked.
Licked.
Love it.
Okay.
Is it please tell me it's not a body
Are
part.
we sure we want to go to him for
Yes.
this next one? It's
Yes,
a body
do it.
part.
Ah, no.
Question. Would not be considered a body part, or do I need to figure something else out?
Wait, is what considered a body part?
Nah.
Not. That's a body part.
I don't know what that is.
Read the book.
You're about to find out,
You're
honey.
mean.
All right.
She put it down. It
We're gonna go
works.
off the rails on this one. All right, Rizzy. An adverb ending in ly.
Oh, God. What was an adverb again? I'm not a writer.
It adds
Like
to the
quickly,
verb.
slowly.
Oh, okay. Crap. We'll do slowly. I was thinking something else, but I was like, I don't think that works.
All right. Noun.
Back to me. Noun.
Yep.
Swamp.
Swamp.
All right. Adverb. Mooney.
So it adds to the verb, so that would be like ly and all those, right?
It could, yeah.
Sloppy? Would that work?
Sloppily.
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 Okay. The next one is verb.
A verb.
Yes.
Suck. We go all out. Love it.
All right. Noun.
Oh, another noun. Fingernail.
Woo, okay, adjective.
Why do I always...
Yeah, you did. It's a describing word. Do the describing
Loudly.
word.
Loud?
Loudly.
Loudly works.
Loud. Do you want loud or loudly?
Sure.
Sure. All right. Verb, Miss Riz.
Bite.
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 Bite. Okay. Noun.
Another noun. Oh my
All the
god.
nouns for you, dear.
All the nouns.
Coffin.
Coffin.
There you go.
All
That's
right.
swamp and coffin. Fingernails.
All right. Mooney, a noun.
We're gonna go Owen.
Owen. I like it.
Well, that's a proper noun. So would it just be vampire?
Well,
We can do vampire. We can do vampire.
Person, place, or thing. So, I mean.
we could go vampire, I suppose.
Okay. All right. Verb.
All the verbs. I like it. Slap.
All
I
right.
like that noise.
Verb
Slap.
ending in ed.
Another verb. Effed.
What?
Effed.
Effed.
E-F-F-E-D. Effed.
All right. Body part. Mooney.
Green vein.
I seriously need to read these books. I should not have.
Lizzie,
I
you
should have
gotta
taken
get
books.
to them. Read faster.
Right? Rizzy, verb ending in ing.
What?
Suckling.
Suckling?
Yep. It's a word. It counts.
Okay. Adjective.
Patiently.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a very good
Because it's not time for that.
All right. Mooney. Another adjective.
Suddenly?
That kind of an adjective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just describing something so suddenly.
Right.
Yeah. Then another adjective. Miss Rizzy.
Purple.
Purple.
All
All right.
It
a
describes
noun.
something.
A noun.
Yep.
Circus.
Circus.
Circus. I love it. All right. And for the piece de resistance is verb.
What's a verb again?
Action.
An action.
Action.
Grabbed. Grabbing.
Grabbed.
Crap.
All right.
Crab.
Here we go. Are we ready? I don't think any of us are ready. This one, if this live ends, you know it's because I've read this. I'm just saying. All right.
got booted.
She licked her knot while ending. She licked her knot slowly, moving up and down on his swamp. She sat fully sloppily, using her hands to suck herself against his chest. As the fingernails, as he reached to cup her fingernail, she looked him in the eye and thought, he's loudly to bite this whole coffin to the ground over a vampire with another god. He made her as a slap pet. Nothing more. He effed her green vein, suckling her contemplations and making her head toss back with a mixture of patiently and suddenly, just as Balaam had described. Then purple circus wrapped in. Balaam was in on this too. We're going to use me and others to eradicate all humans.
with purple circuses. I love it. That's
Love it.
fantastic.
And if you guys want to know what it really says, go and read her book because they're
Which
fabulous.
one?
Start
Love it
with
so
the
much.
circus, binge that series, and then Disadvantaged comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I already put them up in
cannot
my
wait to
TikTok
read.
shop because I'm impatient.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
See my.
Ooh, look at the pretties.
Oh, yes. Oh,
We
yes.
love pretty end pages. So sprayed and pretty end pages, even better.
Right? The talented
much.
Miss S.A. Bird. I appreciate you coming on with us. I appreciate you
This was fun.
rescheduling with us. It was very fun. I appreciate
Very
you
much.
guys. I hope everybody has a really good night. And we will
Yes.
talk to you guys later.
And prepare for the
Bye.
DMs, girl, because I'm going to be blowing them up.
Right, you better.
I'm ready. Hit me. Get me.
Bye, guys.
Night, guys.
Bye.